Hello friends, how are you? My name is Nixon and this is part 2 of how to play and use harmonics for beginners. So if you haven't watched the first video, please do it and let us come to this lesson. So I'm imagining a beginner, you know, G major chord, C and D, all in first position. And like I said, you can use any finger to play harmonics, but personally I like using my index and my middle and my ring as well. So in this first example, I'm going to demonstrate how to do it playing these chords. So I'm imagining that you are finishing the song on G, it's in the key of G, and that is your last chord to play. So example number 1, I'm going to play harmonics at the 12th fret after I finish the chord. So example number 1. Example number 2, I'm going to play that harmonic in every chord I play. Imagine you are finishing a song, so I play G, C, D. Also, you can play just once you are finishing, or maybe once you are starting. So imagine I want to start the song, I can just start here. So this time, this example, I'm going to play on the 7th fret using the same chord. So G, C, D. So this time I'm going to use my middle finger instead of the index, just to give a perspective that you have to make sure you can play maybe using these 3 fingers in order to use them effectively. So G, C, D. So I'm playing on the 4th, 3rd and the 2nd string, but like we saw on the previous video, you can just play in any of the string. For the purpose of this example, I'm playing those 3. So I'm doing the same, but now I'm using my ring finger. So as you might have noticed, if you play harmonics, they last longer. The sustain is very long compared to just fretted notes like this, for example. So once you are finishing, you may add a little color by just turning your guitar this way, like this. It adds a little vibrato on the ringing harmonics. So another example, imagine I'm playing the same chord, but now I'm using the A-shaped bar chord. I have C, I have D, and I have G here. So I can play G and harmonics, D harmonics, C harmonics. So you might have noticed that it's a little bit hard to play on the 5th fret. Sometimes they are dead like this. So just a little touch. You might want to practice more, but for this example, let us just use those on the 7th and on the 12th fret. So C, D, G. as you can see, you can use them anywhere in the part of the music, or maybe in the song. You can be finishing, you can be in the bridge or previous, something like that. So imagine I'm finishing the song, you can play this. So instead of just playing the chord, I can just use harmonics instead. So I'm finishing like C, G, and I finish, and I play, or maybe I can come again while it's still ringing, then I finish with the chord again. It gives a color compared to just playing straight chords. So once the chord is playing, play harmonics, while they're still ringing, finish with the chord. Okay, now let us do another example, but this time let us go to the 19th fret. So instead of playing C with its harmonic on the 5th fret, I'm going to play on the 19th fret. So imagine I'm playing C, G, and G. I mean C, D, and G. So I play G, then harmonics on the 19th fret, then D, 7th, then C, 12. I finish the chord like that. So C, I mean G, D, C, something like that. Like I say, so it doesn't come just once. You have to practice, and as I always insist, don't run for speed, but make sure you are playing it correctly. The most important thing is to be able to change the fingers. So like if I play using my index, this time I'm using my middle. You see, you have to make sure that you can use different fingers. So now let us play C major, then play on the 12th fret, then play probably F, key of C now, C, then G. C, F, G, harmonics, come back to G. Another thing you can do is when you play harmonics, you can play all of them. So this time let us use the 6th, 5th, and the 4th fret. So G, C, D. Like I say, it's a little bit harder on the 5th fret, so let us use 12th and 9th. So G, so on the 19th fret as well. Something like that. So do those exercises and see if you can use them to play in music. So like when you have to start a song, for example, instead of just going straight C, you can just add a little color by playing like this. Then it starts maybe your F, you can add a little more. use colors instead of just playing straight. So